right, y'all. You know what time it is. It's the lightning round, and I'm your host, Charles Becco. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I've got with me Megan, again, not Megan the Stallion, Megan, the certified financial planner. Megan, mic's on you. Please introduce yourself to the crowd.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Megan. I am a certified financial planner. I'm also an enrolled agent, which means I can represent my clients in front of the IRS. My whole career is I own a company where I specialize in managing clients' money and making sure they're taking distributions in a tax-efficient manner. So I'm here to help Charles if he needs it. If we're breaking down tickers tonight, you can go ahead and send those to me on the back channel. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. And so we're just getting the links up for everyone so you could join us on the YouTube. Okay, sending those out to the various communities. And Megan, if you could pin that link to the room, that would be greatly appreciated there. All right, so team, again, I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm your co-host, Charles Becco. Today we're going to be talking about, what happened in the stock market today. Okay. We titled today. Oh, the title is kind of different, but we want to talk about opportunity in the volatility. Okay. Again, we want to talk about opportunity in the volatility. Okay. I feel like a preacher. I feel like a pastor. Here we are. All right. So I want to start with our first chart here. Again, just click the link above. Join us on the YouTube, okay? And we could get going. I want to talk about Apple. Notice here, Apple is up $1.25 after hours, okay? Pretty much, during the height of the craziness that happened today, market's down another 1.5% to 2%. Oh, I do see Shanisha down there. I don't know if Shanisha wants to come up here on stage, but you're more than welcome, Shanisha. Again, the market was down at one point across the board, right? 1 to 2%, 1.5 to 2%, and amidst that kind of pullback, Apple kind of was, making highs a day, right? And so, as you can see from the 5-minute chart here, I'm going to switch this to the 10-minute chart. It's pretty much been a steady uptrend, right? And so you may be asking yourself, hey, what's going on with Apple? Has it found a bottom? And I'd like to bring your attention to another chart on Apple here. Oh, no, that's not the chart I'm looking for. The simple answer, okay? Let's see if I could... I think I got rid of that chart. Yeah, I got rid of it. The simple answer is Apple is actually sitting on its 21 simple moving average. Here is the chart. Okay. Let me go to the daily time frame here. Okay. Very easy peasy, beautiful cover girl. Just like they said in the commercial, right? Again, so here's Apple. Let me kind of get rid of some of these lines. I don't need them anymore. Okay, just get rid of some of these lines just so it's nice and clear, so it's easy for you ladies and gentlemen to see. Okay, beautiful. All right, made a new high all the way up to 182, came down to its 21 simple moving average. Now let me tell you something, okay? If you kind of look back on the chart here, Apple has not touched its 21 simple moving average for an entire month, okay? So with just basic, simple technical analysis, right? When something has made a big move like this, come down to its 21, especially if that name is Apple, especially if you have price targets at $200, right? So, that's a lot of analysts and their reputations at stake, right? You come down to this 21 simple moving average after making this monstrous move to all-time highs, you're going to get an obligatory bounce to the upside, okay? So we did enter some positions here today, full disclosure. Actually, we were already swinging from last week, but we actually added to what we already had. So we're getting a nice move. We had a nice move all day here. Okay, so this is a free game Monday. Okay, again, nice steady uptrend, right? It's kind of gap down, nice steady uptrend to go up there and close the gap. And Apple is moving the way that it was moving before all this nonsense started. Okay, so free game Monday. Okay, our pick for us in the community today will be Apple. I don't know if it's going to get back to all-time highs like in a hurry, right? But yeah, Apple looks pretty good here for a nice little bounce. Okay, before we continue, I do see Shanisha here. Shanisha, please introduce yourself to the crowd.
Hey, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Charles, for having me. I'm Shanisha Dixon-Tyrell, financial coach and author to children's financial literacy book called You're Always Broke. And I'm also an investor, so I'm just here to learn and add value where I can. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Shanisha. Okay. Megan.
Oh, Charles, I did want to add something on Apple, actually. There's been like a lot of volume going into the March 2022 calls for like 200, like heavy volume going into that. So what you're saying definitely does make sense and is confirming that volume that's been going into it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw
Go ahead, Megan.
a lot of flow, like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, a couple million going into it tonight before market close.
Hey, that's fantastic because a team we do use option flow on there's different softwares out there. There's Cheddar Flow. The local stuff we use is callsorputs.com. If you want to get some info on that, just hit us up on the back end and we could send you the links to get that software. It's a little bit more affordable than some of the other options out there. To get that option flow could be very expensive, right? But yeah, I don't always look at the option flow. I did not see that today personally, but hey, that's why I rely on our co-mods here. And you heard it from two witnesses, right? And so the good book says, in the presence of two witnesses, right, let a thing be established. And so that's fantastic that we got that there. So again, I see it here in the technicals. You heard about the option flow, so Apple looks pretty decent here to the upside. I do want to put out a word of caution, right? The only thing that I do not like about Apple here is we had a fresh MACD cross down on a daily time frame. So I'm thinking even if we do get a pop, maybe it may get stuffed momentarily, but have no fear. When you look on the weekly time frame, we had this MACD cross and we got a fresh weekly squeeze, okay? And that squeeze has not really produced yet, right? And so we're looking for a nice little bear flag here. A bull flag here on the weekly time frame on Apple. So again, free game Monday there. Our call for this week is Apple to some more upside. I do see some folks out there in the crowd. Want to say what's up to Csco, Sarah. Sarah, our sponsor with Civility. Thank you so much, Sarah, for always being there. I see Jasmine, Maggie, and Suzuki. So let's get on to what is going on in the market. Okay. When you check out SPY here, so SPY is in a kind of a tenuous place, and let me kind of move this over. You guys can't see. There it is. Oops. Kind of fix this. Okay, so SPY is in a kind of tenuous place here, right? We came down to again. May have to pull up that other chart again, right? This is the right. So we go to SPY. SPY came down and it touched, fully touched the 89 simple moving average, okay? Now, look at the way that it reacted, right? A strong rejection to the upside, right? A rejection of those lower prices. We had came all the way down to 451, and surprisingly enough, SPY closed at the highs today. Okay, so this is a very strong indicator that perhaps, not saying that the lows are in, right? But for now, we could expect maybe some kind of continuation, some kind of bounce into tomorrow, right? The other question is, hey, are we at a double bottom here? Around the beginning of December when we had the initial pullback, we came down to these levels, and now we're down here again. I get to the 89 simple moving average. I know there's a whole lot of noise and gunshots happening and explosions happening on this chart, and I do apologize, but it's just the way that I've got the charts set up here. Let me make this line thicker than a Snicker so you guys could all see it. Okay. Again, we came down to the 89 simple moving average, and we called that out right at the chat today. It held. We got a nice little bounce, and so if anyone took any kind of scalps on SPY today, you might have been a little bit happy, but this is kind of choppy, right? Not exactly a clean chart to scalp, right? Did this, came here, made a higher low, and then kept going. So that's fantastic. SPY up. SPY is up almost $2 after hours, right? So that is good. So, we're expecting some kind of continuation into tomorrow based off of that. So expect some kind of bounce tomorrow, okay? Maybe we could get a bounce maybe to 460, 462. I would expect us to kind of maybe do something like that before the bears maybe want to come in and add to their shorts. You got levels here, resistance at 457. You're going to see some smoke at 460 and also at 462. So, just be very, very careful, okay, with whatever you do, okay? We could also have one of those big days, right, where we could just rip 2 and 3% higher. I would not be surprised if that were to happen as well, okay? But we are not out of the woods yet, so folks, you have to absolutely be careful. Before we continue, would like Megan to give us a quick reset before we get to the tickers. Megan, mic's on you.
Of course. So if everybody sees the link above our YouTube link, so you can follow along, watch Charles break down the charts live for you. While you're in there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is a day trading Degens room, one of the biggest clubhouse rooms there is. So go ahead and follow if you're not already. I'll give you notifications whenever we do rooms. And sometimes we do pop-up rooms. Typically, we're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the lightning round, buy, sell, or hold, where Charles breaks down the charts, and you get to decide if you want to buy, sell, or hold. Nothing said here is financial advice, just us having some conversation, due diligence. If you don't know anything about Brooklyn Traders, go ahead and go to brooklyntraders.net to find out more about who we are. As a little plug, I'll tell you, just a couple days ago, I bought a ticker based on a strategy that Charles and the Brooklyn Traders taught me, the high-low long strategy, and I am up about 430% today. So just a couple days later, I was green today while the market was down. Apologize, my little one's calling on me. And it wasn't a high-risk trade or anything like that. It was just a simple high-low strategy that paid me a nice 430%. I'm actually still in it. So if you don't know what high-low strategy is, go to brooklyntraders.net and check it out. Charles, back to you.
All right. Congratulations on that, Megan. And just share for the crowd, what position is that in? Did you find that at pattern?
Did you say what ticker was that, Charles?
Yeah. What ticker was that? Share for the crowd.
Okay, it was GTLB. GTLB. I bought it for 94 cents, and it's currently worth 505.
Woo! GitLab. Go get you some. Nice move there, right? From, nice move here from 81 or 77, right? Depending on how you got that, to 92. Now, it would have been nice if NVIDIA had the same pattern, right? Like, this when we were buying a dip on NVIDIA, what was it, Friday? This is the pattern that we were looking for, right? Like the next day you had to fade down, buy the dip here for the rip, right? And then NVIDIA had totally different plans for us here. And again, and this is just more of like an inside joke between us, right? As a community, with NVIDIA, right? We had the pop, drop, and just but yeah, absolutely. This is a nice play there on GitLab there, Megan. And so one of the first tickers here is going to be CHWY from my man Suzuki. Suzuki wants to know what's going on with CHWY. CHWY still looks like it's in a bullish reversal, but it's also in a tenuous phase one market phase as well. So even though it's in a reversal pattern, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. So this is more like a wait and see type of situation. And so you just have to just be very patient and wait for the upside here. I will be targeting 61 right there on CHWY. Okay, so just be aware of that there. Let me look at some of my momentum tools and see if I could provide any additional guidance on CHWY here. It looks like, again, yeah, from the momentum tool, right? It looks like you're going to need some time. Just give it some time, and CHWY is going to, it looks like it wants to fix itself to go to the upside. I think the bears are just about done with whatever it is that they were doing here on CHWY. And so just give CHWY some time, and I think it'll give you a reward. You see the MACD about to cross there. So I'm actually seeing multiple layers of confluence, right? Looked at 3 different charts, it looked at 3 different things, and CHWY looks like, again, multiple levels of confluence that it just wants to have some more time to turn itself around, and I would target that 60-odd area. So that's what we are thinking about on CHWY. Okay. Next up on the list, next ticker up on the list here. Let me make this chart a little bit smaller. Okay. Okay. Next up on the list is CSCO, Cisco Systems. Nice little move here today. I mean, overall, nice move in terms of like the overall chart. Now, we're at 60.36. Ooh, nice. So Cisco looks like it was almost in a short setup, but it just got itself out of it, right? And so just watch this level here on Cisco. Again, we saw more of an end of day rally there. Okay. Watch under 59.79 or just 59.50. You get it closed under there, and Cisco Systems will be kind of in a short setup. But what is good for the bulls and kind of very frustrating for the bears here is Cisco came all the way down to its 8 simple, and you got an obligatory bounce there, right? And so, hey, we could bounce higher, but I could tell by the shading of the chart, the way that everything looks, that it appears that the underlying may start to weaken here on Cisco, right? So, if you're into this thing, right now may be time to start winding down your position. Okay, not quite a short setup yet. Definitely leave some chips on the table to see if we could go higher. But the underlying on Cisco here is weakening just a tad, right? So I would look for and expect a pullback to possibly 57.86, maybe even 56, right? And if you get that, that would absolutely be in a buy to dip setup and range on Cisco. Next ticker up on the list here, so let me just get that. We got Cisco, that. We got CHWY here. Next up on the list is Square. Let's check out Square. Or I can't even call it Square anymore. It's called Block. Man, Square is kind of frustrating here. We actually had bullish divergence here. It still technically is bullish divergence, but it's kind of weakening here the last 2 or 3 days. Kind of the bullish pattern that it had is kind of like fading here, and so again, just give Square or Block some time, right? It's gonna take some time for it to get out of its own way, and so I believe Square could potentially go much higher. If you like Square, I think it's a great place to potentially add some long-term shares. I mean, top to bottom, the top here close to $300. Now we're close to $1.50. Almost a 50% pullback in the price, right? And to me, we want to be long-term bullish Square, right? And so pretty soon, I think it may be time to put on my Mark Monroe hat, right? If you don't know Mark Monroe, that's from the Come Up Cousins. Mark really believes in leaps. Okay, I'm not really a huge leap guy, but for Square, right, I might want to put on my Mark Monroe hat and potentially, right, buy some leaps here in Square. This looks very tasty. I'm thinking that Square is a potential victim of tax loss selling, and so yeah, with this kind of pullback in Square team, I'm looking for us again potentially, right, to be in a position for this thing to slightly turn around here on Square. Okay. Next ticker up on the list here. I see Disney, so let's do that. Let's get to Disney. Disney was a situation where you did have this kind of bullish divergence going on the RSI, but right now Disney looks like it's kind of in what's called a phase one market phase, where it's just consolidating sideways, right? I read an article on CNBC that one of the top predictions for 2022 is that they're going to bring back their former CEO in Disney to help kind of turn the company around, right? At least not the company around, but turn or help the stock price around, right? And so not too sure what the underlying is or fundamentals on Disney, but it's kind of broke out of its range. And as other things have gone higher, Disney has gotten lower and lower. And so, hey, that's Disney right there. Next ticker up on the list. Let us see. Next ticker on the list is Space. Wow. What a blast from the past. Okay, so we have Space here. Virgin Galactic Holdings. We are just under you can say the final frontier here. This was a huge support level at 1447. I actually had some long-term shares that I got stopped out of here on Space, unfortunately, and so I'm just gonna take that cash and see what I want to do with it for a potential rebalance in Space. But you know, I would have liked to see Space do something here, but hey, what could you do? What could you do, right? And so I do see some bullish divergence here. Space may be another one of those names, again, that is selling off as a tax loss harvesting, right? And for those who don't know what that is, tax loss harvesting is when you sell a losing position and then you sell a winning position, and those sale of a winner and a loser kind of offset themselves, and then you use that money. They offset themselves, meaning you don't have to pay the capital gains because it's being offset by also a capital loss, and then you use the money to rebalance your portfolio later. Okay, so it's called tax loss harvesting, and I'm thinking that Space may be a victim of tax loss harvesting. Okay, so that's Space here. All right. Next ticker on the list, I see 4. Okay, now let's look at 4 here. I don't want to say something looks boring, but it's definitely in a phase one market phase, more of like a descending almost like a descending triangle almost, but it's starting to flatten out here, right? Do you see the expansion here on the MACD? Do you see some positive histograms here? Things are turning around. We have a squeeze. So a lot of these payment guys, shift for payments. If you look at Square, if you look at SoFi, if you look at Visa, you look at MasterCard, a lot of these guys have been getting beat up as of late. And so with 4 here, it's no surprise that we're down here. But 4 looks like it's gathering some steam to potentially have a bullish move in the opposite direction, right? And so I think the play here is to be patient with 4, because I think it could potentially be a very, very good longer term buy level here on 4. It looks pretty okay. It looks like it wants to turn itself around. So nice pickup, nice find here on 4, and that's that. I'm gonna throw a ticker on a list here. Don't mean to leapfrog anyone, but I want to take a look at ASAN here. ASAN is a beauty. I think over the summer, was it over the summer or just maybe before the summer? I remember it was like around 40, right? Probably right around in May or April. We noticed just gigantic insider buying on ASAN, and so via our private note in Brooklyn Traders, we recommended that people take a look at this. And ASAN has just had like just a monstrous move, right? From $40, which was our entries, all the way up to $145, and now we get the precipitous pullback. You see the MACD cross here. You see bullish divergence here. I like ASAN to the upside there, and so I'm gonna put ASAN on our personal watch list here. This actually looks very good. Okay, price target on ASAN. I'd like to see us move $10 up to $86, $87. So 87 price target on ASAN for right now, and that's what we got here. Megan, would you mind giving us another reset before we get to the rest of the show?
Absolutely. So you are in the agent's room, buy, sell, or hold, where you give us the tickers and Charles will break them down live for you. Okay. You can decide if you want to buy, sell, or hold. None of this is financial advice. We're just helping you look at the charts together. We are here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you didn't get your ticker in tonight, we can get in later. Somebody sent me a DM about tax updates, but they're no longer in the room, so I guess I can prep for that. If you have any tickers, we can probably do 1 or 2 more. So shoot those over to me, and we'll get them to Charles. Charles, back to you.
All right. Yep. So I was sorry about that. Was taking a look at the list that's over there on YouTube. Right? So we've got a couple more tickers left, and we're gonna get to them. Let me see here. Okay. So here are the final tickers for the night. We've got Facebook, AMD, NVDA, and Tesla. So the big boys, right? No, shoot, we might as well just round out the rest of the other ones, right? Might as well throw on Microsoft, right? We did Apple already. Might as well throw on Amazon and GOOG. I actually saw, I did see some option flow going into GOOG. Some 2022 options, so that'll be very interesting to take a look at GOOG here. All right. So, first ticker here, Facebook.
Charles, can we?
Go ahead.
Sorry, can we also add Moderna and Zoom?
Sure, Moderna and Zoom. These it got all right. So it looks like I don't mind. So it looks like we're just, I guess, we're not gonna be done as soon as I thought we were. Hey, we don't mind. It's for the community. It's all love, y'all. This is a public service, all right? So let me go over the tickers for the night. Okay, we got Facebook, AMD, NVIDIA, which is going to be pretty much the same. Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon. I can't even read my own spelling. Google, MRNA, and Zoom. All right. Let's look at MRNA because I'm just picking on MRNA here because this chart just every time I look at MRNA, I just get a headache. I mean, y'all seeing it here, like, yeah, how does anyone trade this? Like, look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it gap filled down today, right? I'm pretty sure is what it did. I would just let this one sit for a minute since it just gap filled down.
Y'all see this chart on MRNA? I don't even want to move my head. Look at this. I mean, so MRNA had this huge big pop up, right? So like, what was it? So it was up 8% today, right? Look at this. It went from 290 to 322 today. Nice big move, monstrous move, right? And just faded the entire day. Team, I don't want to be long MRNA here. Y'all probably shouldn't ask me about MRNA because I'm probably going to be so biased. And I know I probably shouldn't be biased. I probably should just be like, oh, this, that, and just give you some real vanilla analysis, and that is so ubiquitous and so vague, and just leave it at that. But team, I don't want y'all to get clapped. Like, I just don't see how anyone can trade this. I mean, if you want to buy Moderna long term, right? If you want to add some shares, okay, that makes sense as long as COVID is around, right? As long as COVID is around, Moderna is going to be viable. And I'm not going to say that it can't be a viable company post-COVID. I'm not saying that, but man, like we know what's driving Moderna, right? It's the headlines. And so if you're following that, right, this is really bad. For us to have a huge pop and just to fade like that, that's not good. But I guess it came down to support level, so what could you really say? For me, based on the fade, I would take off 2 points for that, but then I would add a point for just holding the level, right? So it's like down by like 1 touchdown right now on Moderna on my analysis scale. We're not getting any kind of clues from the MACD at all. The histogram is turning more negative. I do have my momentum tool. My momentum tool, excuse me, is telling me that we should actually buy this dip. Okay, my momentum tool is telling me we should buy this dip, but scam likely, and I'm just biased. So for whoever wanted me to look at Moderna, hey, on the hourly time frame, I'm getting one of my momentum tools is telling me that we should buy the dip of Moderna, but my gut feeling is scam likely, and I'm kind of bearish biotechs anyway. Bearish. I'm just biotech adverse, right? I don't know. Megan, Shanisha, what y'all think about murder? Murder. What y'all think about it?
I guess for me, when it comes down to Moderna, like any like other bio, it is very volatile. I don't agree with the part that it's only, good for like COVID. Obviously COVID is a big boost for it, but they do the Viagra pill, I think, too. So, that is also something that is big. So just keep in mind for that. So, but I think shares wise, I can see it continuing to grow if COVID continues to be a thing. Within the next year, I definitely see it pushing up another $100. If this pace continues into 2023, I see it pushing up another $100. It goes up, probably even touching those highs again if this continues. But it's very volatile.
I mean, Myrna's on my no trade list because I lost a lot of money on that. On the 4 hour, it looks bearish. On the 1 day, it's holding support pretty well. But for me personally, I think that there are plays out there that aren't so iffy. I've learned not to force a trade, and when you look at a trade, if it doesn't jump off the charts that you'd be willing to throw the kitchen sink at it, it isn't worth my time of the day. And I'm not saying throw the kitchen sink in it. You absolutely should, and you should do your risk management of 1 to 5% of your account value. But that's how excited I should feel about a trade. And looking at Moderna, nothing about this excites me. So not only is it on my no trade list, there's nothing exciting about this chart at this moment to me. So for me, I would look for a better play.
Hey, some people say tomato. and some people say tomato. Shanisha and Megan, I want to thank you ladies for giving us that sterling analysis and your feedback there. I think both of what you ladies have said is absolutely viable. And of course, team, not financial advice. Assume anything that you hear on this show will get you clapped. And just stay safe out there in those COVID streets. Speaking about COVID, I guess a public service announcement here. We know people are having a hard time with COVID, right? It's like definitely some COVID fatigue out there. The looks on people's faces as I walk down the street, from the things that I'm hearing on a personal level, people are really taking it really hard about the prospect of potentially going back into a lockdown. People are really having a hard time with just, the whole, okay, it's in lockdown again. Jim Cramer had he had all his shots and he got the booster and he's got COVID again. That came out today on CNBC. And it's like, where do we go from here? It's tough.
Well, we had our first Omicron death today, and I thought New Zealand confirmed a death from the vaccine. So we've got bad news on all sides of things. It doesn't seem like it's over yet at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And just on the topic, right? It's like, I think as a society and as a generation, we've become very used to getting things our way. One kind of criticism I say about our generation in particular, and like as a millennial, I'm a millennial, so I could talk about us because I am us, right? We expect things to be $5.99 in 5 minutes or less, right? I think there's just like kind of an expectation that, hey, okay, we got this COVID stuff. It's bad for a year. After a year, we're going to be good. But the reality is, right, no one said that COVID was going to be around for a year. No one said it's going to be around for 2 years. Like, COVID could be something that we have to live with as a new normal. Like, imagine 20 years from now, we may have to have like oxygen masks or gills or whatever to deal with something like. I'm not wishing that upon anybody, and I know that probably sounds crazy as heck. But what I've learned in life after dealing with accomplishments and tragedies in equal measure is that if you kind of set your expectation for things to be a little bit darker than lighter sometimes, if something bad does happen, it makes it easier to deal with. And I know that sounds like super pessimistic, but I'm just letting you know things that have helped me personally in life. And just in general, team, I pray that this thing ends sooner rather than later. Absolutely do what you have to do to protect your mental health and just to help out your friends and family. But, at the same time, just do not fill yourself with an expectation that things are just going to go exactly the way that you think is going to go, because it could just slap you in the face. And, that's kind of like getting the rug pulled, right? And absolutely, positively, I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what you believe in. Don't care if you're a Biden person or Trump person. I don't care about that. You go out there, you guys be safe. You mask up, you sanitize and clean down everything. Don't be going to no large events without your mask on. Like, don't get clapped. Just don't. I don't want to see anything happen to anybody in this community or any of y'all's families. So just, again, I don't care what you believe in. Believe in whatever you want. But go out there and be safe and come back home alive, please. I know, team, I'm letting y'all know. I know people who have been killed. Okay? And I'm saying the word killed. This virus has killed people that I know personally. People that I'm close with have been killed by this virus due to their philosophy. And if you let a philosophy or an ideology put you in danger, and that's a very dangerous philosophy and ideology. And I'm going to just leave it at that. All right? So I'm gonna just get up off my soapbox here. I'm sorry for preaching at y'all, but hey, one of the things that makes this show worth it for me personally is that I could actually have a real impact on people's lives, right? And so, I don't even know how people could even go up on any kind of show, anything, any kind of platform, and talk about whatever it is they're talking about, and don't take time to acknowledge like some of the absolute carnage that is around us in our daily lives. I don't know how they could do that, quite frankly, but hey, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Shanisha, I did see you with your mic off. Did you have something to contribute?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and just to add, and please don't forget to properly protect yourself. I know you probably heard us talk about this before, but that's how important it is. You can't be in this market trying to build wealth and not have already secured some type of life insurance, right? And it's not to think with the end with death in mind, but to just be properly prepared, and to think and maximize the living benefits, right? Just it could be something as simple as you got COVID and there was nothing for it to you, nothing really happened, but it still will affect how much your premiums will cost, right? It still will affect how and what type of policies you will be able to get. These companies will side eye and look at you because they don't know if there's going to be a long-term effect. So like don't put yourself in that position where you are now you don't have the ball in your court where you can more so these companies need you. It's a you needing them kind of situation. I can't tell you how many calls I've been getting in the last minute, like, hey, I got COVID, or a relative got, we got sick. What can we get now? I have a brain aneurysm. What can I get now? At that point, it's too late, and I never want to let those words come out of my mouth to a person in need. So just do myself and do you a favor or your agent a favor, and just get ahead of the game. If you have questions about the proper life insurance or anything, I have a 15-minute consultation for free, and I can educate you, and you decide what works for you and your family. Thank you for that.
I'm going to jump in and tag on Shanisha here, not just about the life insurance, that I completely and wholeheartedly agree with her, because if something comes up that makes you uninsurable, it's too late. There's nothing we can do to help you at that point. So if you can get life insurance now, even a little bit, while you're young and you're healthy, and if we need to increase the premium amount later, it's much easier to do that than to have something pop up and have you become uninsurable. The other important thing I want to mention that I think people forget about is disability insurance. People think this. Ooh, can I do it? Can I do it?
No.
People think this.
Yep. So Megan, I was just about to. So Megan, I'm gonna let you land the plane. I just have to just tap in just a second. You know what I just realized, Megan? Guess what? We actually have 3 financial advisors. Well, I'm a former financial advisor on the stage right now. We've never.
3.
Yeah, 3 exactly. So for everybody who didn't know, I was a financial advisor and investment advisor representative myself, right? And so the way that I opened up my presentations when I spoke with people is, hey, you need your life insurance, disability, and long-term care. Well, Megan, I'm going to let you land the plane there. My bad.
Yeah, I think that people forget about disability insurance. It's an easy one to forget about, or they think that they're invincible, or I won't become disabled. But disabled just simply means that you're too sick or you're too hurt to go to work. I mean, if you fall down and get an injury, I mean, we've got people, so I'm a big hunter. People know that. You fall out of a deer stand and you're down and out for a while. You get Lyme's disease because a tick bit you. You get COVID. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're too sick or you're too hurt to work, who's going to pay the bills for you? Not your health insurance, probably not your employer. And that's where disability insurance is going to come in. And there's short-term for short duration illness or injury. But there's long-term disability. And that's what I think people are missing, that gap of could you make your bills if you, your spouse, or whomever became too sick or too injured to go to work. And it's typically a temporary illness or injury. So I would say check with your HR and see if you have a group plan offered to you first, That tends to be the cheapest because you can get group rates. But if that isn't an option for you, you can check with a financial advisor about that. I'm not taking clients, so please don't DM me. Please don't reach out to me. I'm not accepting new clients. I don't know if Shanisha is on the disability, the DI side, but reach out to somebody and make sure that you're covered, especially in this day and age when we have COVID going rampant.
I'm accepting clients, but, obviously it has to be within my jurisdiction, but thank you for that.
Man, you guys just got a heater. And the way that I like to kind of describe it, it's like driving a car with no insurance, right? Could you imagine driving in a city like New York or LA or Miami with no car insurance? Like, how long are you going to go before something happens to you? Seriously. Especially if you have comorbidities, if you have cancer in the family, if you're a sick person. There's folks out there. I just saw the documentary with Colin Kaepernick, and apparently Colin he gets sick. All throughout his childhood, he's prone to get the flu and things. And so if you're a sick person, hey, maybe if you're accident prone, right? Absolutely think about especially that disability insurance, because the way that it works, right, is one situation, just one, right? It could be a slip, it could be a fall, it could be just an illness, it could be a mental thing, whatever it is. No amount of wealth is going to save you from that. That thing will eat your wealth. If your kid comes down with an inoperable cancer or disease, God, heaven forbid, I'm sounding like an advisor. Heaven forbid. I'm so sorry, Megan and Shanisha. I'm just remembering the days of being in the office, and I used to hear they like heaven forbid, and oh my gosh, I'm saying the same thing. But seriously, God forbid, anything happens to you, your children, or anything, your $100,000 nest egg could be gone like that, right? That $250,000 like that, right? And so, again, not exactly where we were going with this show, but again, we want to take care of the whole person, right? 365 degrees. It's not only about getting the bag, right? But you got to protect the bag, all right? So be sure to do that. Again, Shanisha's up here. Tap in with her or just anybody else. I know, we're probably boring some people to death. Whatever, this has to be said, right? So that's it. All right, so let's get to the tickers here. Megan, I'm going to ask you for one last reset before we get to the tickers. Okay, one last reset, then we're going to go through these tickers and we're going to hammer them down. Okay? Megan?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are not taking any more tickers tonight. We are full. So we are taking Wednesday, Friday on typical non-holiday week. So you can check us out later. We'll be here Wednesday, I'm guessing, right, Charles?
Oh, yes, we will be on here Wednesday. Yep.
Okay. All right. So we'll be back on Wednesday. So save your tickers for Wednesday. We will be back. This is the Day Trade in Dejan's room. If you click the greenhouse up way at the top above our heads, you can go ahead and follow the room to get pop-up notifications if we're off of our usual schedule. Otherwise, follow all the mods and get the notifications turned on. So that way, if we do a pop-up, you'll know about it. Also, the link above our head is the YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe to that, and you can see past things that Charles has done. But if you're just listening in today, when Charles was breaking down the tickers, you're missing out. The teach a man to fish or just give him the fish, right? That's what we're trying to do, is if you're looking at the charts and you're listening to what Charles has to say, you're learning to feed yourself. You're learning to care for yourself because you're watching what he's talking about on the chart so that you can then do that for yourself later on. If you're just looking for, hey, what ticker should I play? Not only are you going to get class, but you're going to miss out. If you don't know the entry and exit points of when to be in and out of a trade, you're not going to play it. So don't be coming and looking just for what tickers to play. Go ahead and watch the charts. Start looking for key KPPs, key pivot points, support and resistance, things like that. So tap on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Follow your mods. Come back here Wednesday with more tickers. We've got a couple left, actually quite a few. So we are going to burn through those very quickly so we can wrap up and get everybody on with their Monday night. Charles, back to you.
All right. Again, Megan and Shanisha, thank you so very much for your contributions. It's been stellar tonight. This is a very, very important conversation. I don't care how dry it sounds to some people. This is deadly important, right? Even if we could help potentially save or impact one life or just improve one person's situation, hey, it would have been all worth it just for us to all be here, right? So make sure you guys do whatever you can to protect yourselves out there. All right, so tickers on the list here. We got Facebook, we got AMD, NVDA, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, GOOG. We did MRNA, Zoom, and GM. Let's do Zoom here. Anytime you have COVID news, Zoom always kind of pops a little. So Zoom was absolutely in a long setup as of as of Friday, right? And then so we kind of opened up and we faded the whole day. And so, yeah, again, COVID news and then the fade, right? Technically, Zoom isn't a long setup, but I really don't like the fades when they happen. And we had a pretty severe fade. I think Zoom might have been up 5 or 6% today here. And so, I mean, the fact that we faded back down and we're under Friday's price, I don't know. Technically, based on the setup, you are supposed to buy the dip. So you could buy the dip, and what you need to have happen tomorrow, right? If it doesn't happen tomorrow, I think the play is dead. We need a close. We need some positive action on Zoom here, and I would like to see a close above 205, 206 on Zoom tomorrow. So that's Zoom.
I would set a stop loss on that one if you're going to enter a Zoom position. Just set a tight stop loss in case it goes against you, because that one does swing on COVID news so quickly. So for me personally, I would set a stop loss on that.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Like, again, Zoom is on my no trade list almost, because like the implied vol is like frequently high all the time, and it's almost not at a level where you could trade it, because theoretically, right, Zoom may still be a little kind of rich on the valuation, right? Because Zoom basically did like 5 years worth of price action in a single year, right? So Zoom could come down some more, so just watch out there for sure. So Facebook here, still in a range, right? Here's the big chart. Oh, and that looks beautiful. I love a chart that's nice and organized, right? So you can see that there's like a lower channel here and an upper channel. So this entire channel is a phase one market phase anyway, right? Kind of up, and down, and we bounce. So we kind of broke above the mid-range of the lower channel, and we came down and we fell right here at the support level, right? So for me, as long as we hold this support level and we bounce higher, you could assume to potentially be long on Facebook, but Facebook is just going to go where the market is going to go. So just, keep your eye on the overall market, especially the Qs. Expect some chop. Okay, expect some chop. I expect Facebook to be kind of choppy. Matter of fact, let me kind of I already kind of know what this indicator is going to tell me, but let me just pull up one more indicator, because it'll show me right away if this thing is going to be finna chop up. Chop it up. Okay. So Facebook does have a bullish tint on it, but I do see that it could potentially be a little choppy still, right? So that is Facebook. Expect some chop, right? But we should kind of hold around here. Okay, so I like that on Facebook. All eyes on AMD. Man, AMD. Bad news here. So we were still technically in a long setup on AMD, and we broke out of the long setup today on AMD. And so I do see that the MACD is kind of, well, it was trying to turn around, but now is just, oof, man. Team, we took some losses on AMD last week. The ball was in AMD's court, and this thing just fumbled all over itself, right? And so, oof, I mean, right now it looks like AMD wants to lose the simple 50. AMD is sitting right there at the simple 50 here, and it just seems like AMD just wants to lose this level, right? If AMD loses the simple 50, look for it to come down and hit 130. And if it doesn't hold there, the next level is around 120, 122 on AMD. Looks more bearish on AMD, unfortunately. Let's look at NVIDIA. It's probably going to be the same. Yeah, because I actually got stopped out of our NVIDIAs that we were holding on Friday. I think we were holding a trace amount as of today. And man, NVIDIA just, yeah, it is out of the long setup here. And NVIDIA's about to, let me see, what's that? Yeah, NVIDIA's under its simple 50 here. 8 cross under the 21. NVIDIA looks like it's finna come down some more. It is sitting on top of the second ATR at 271, but I would not be surprised if we won't go down and test those levels there on NVIDIA, right? So look to see if we retest 271 or so, and if we lose that level, it's a long way down on NVIDIA, right? So just be careful there. Next up, Tesla. And again, this is another one, right? So we had 2 long setups broken up within the last, within the last 3 weeks here. Here's the first long setup broken up. And here's the second long setup broken up again. Man, this 900 level, again, this is the breakout level, right? And so this may be an incredibly smart idea, or this may be an incredibly dumb idea here on Tesla. At this level, 900. Okay, again, this is the breakout level, right? This is, and you see, team, I'm not making no new lines in the charts, right? These lines were already established. These levels are already established on the chart, right? This is how you know we does this, because we have been tracking this entire time. Okay. If we hold here, that could be a good buy to dip opportunity on Tesla. If we kind of keep dipping under this 800, under this 900, all right. Actually, the real level is 885, so maybe if we could penetrate that, maybe whatever. Okay, pause. I know penetrate, whatever. Haha, very funny. But really, if we could kind of come under 883. That may not be a good look. Okay, so we want to really hold 888, 885 on Tesla here, and that would be fantastic if we could do that. But Tesla, not a good look here. We're losing steam on the momentum here. I think we want to keep going under here on Tesla. Again, look to see if we kind of hold that 888, 885 range on Tesla. Okay. Next up on the list is Microsoft. Microsoft had the best looking chart last week. Man, it's kind of sad to see this, man. You know, that's like seeing your best friend holding a crack pipe. I mean, literally, like, what is Microsoft doing? I have no idea. I mean, are we going to get like a double bottom situation here? I'm not really sure, but for me, I would watch 317 here on Microsoft. And if we go into that, that would be no bueno. Microsoft had a really good looking chart coming into last week, and there was just so much damage done last week, team. I can't even tell you. But right now, we're under the simple 50, but we're also at the bottom ATR there. So, I mean, we could expect some kind of a bounce, possibly to 324, possibly to 327, 330, but that bounce is going to get eaten up. I can tell you that right now on Microsoft. So, excuse me. You have to potentially be a little bit bearish, a little bit, sell the reps, right, on Microsoft if you get it. Okay, that's Microsoft. Let's look at Amazon here. Oof. You know. It looks like Amazon wants to stop tripping over itself, but it's just, I mean, again, another one of those things, right? Could be incredibly smart or incredibly stupid here to buy the dip on Amazon. I mean, I do see that it wants to kind of maybe turn around. The problem is that the RSI is not giving that nice curl look like we want. You know, that the RSI doesn't look like it's ready for Amazon, unfortunately. Okay, it's not giving me that divergence look, so I don't know. I don't think Amazon is ready. So that's Amazon. All right, so next up on the list is GOOG. So I will tell you this. I did see a lot of bullish option flow here on GOOG. And I want to let y'all know, right? You see these lines here? You know what these lines are? These green lines? And I'm sure there's more if I could just go and find them. Do you know what these green lines are? These are all gaps. And a lot of these are pandemic gaps, right? And so, again, our master thesis is that one day the market's going to get clapped pretty good. And all these gaps is going to finna close. Or most of them anyway, right? So, I'm not going to say that's going to happen today, but, yeah. Let me see. Are we at monthly lows here on Amazon? We are at monthly lows, right? So, I don't know how much smoke the RSI really wants, but the histogram is letting me know that, you know, Google may not be too much in the danger zone, like the way I think. I do see like mixed signals here. Long story short, if we can get a close above 28.52, that would be a long setup there on Google. Okay. Last ticker for the night is going to be GM. All right, let's see what's going on with Big Auto. Lows here, monthly lows. I'm gonna just keep it simple. We get a close above 54.58, and GM will be in a long setup. All right. That's it for tickers of the night. Shanisha, Megan, anything for the crowd here before we get out of here?
I'm always full of gems that I want to share, but I think we should wrap it up. We've had a long night. Make sure you're doing your tax planning. There are some changes and things that make me concerned for people, so make sure you're tapping in with a professional. What you pay them, you will save by doing the tax return correctly and finding all the deductions and credits that you're entitled to. With that, I hope you all have a happy Monday night and Merry Christmas if you are not here for Wednesday's show.
All right.
Nothing but happy holidays.
Amen. Thanks. And Megan, you want to drop just one jewel or gem for the crowd here? I know that you said that you got a couple. Like, you want to just drop. It's fine for you to drop them.
All right. I'll give you a couple quick ones. Last year, unemployment, 10,200 of it was tax-free. That doesn't happen this year. So plan ahead if you did not have withholding. Second thing, they are allowing charitable deductions in addition to the standard deductions. So save your charitable receipts up to $300 per person as a deduction. Teachers can deduct COVID supplies this year. So sanitary wipes, Lysol, things like that. Teachers can deduct that as a teacher expense deduction. If you're getting the child tax credit in advance, directly deposited to your account or a check, you may have to pay that back. So please do not be spending all of that. Should have already done some planning on that. So those are a couple things for planning. A couple tips. When you get in to do your tax appointment, if your income is too high to get certain credits, child tax credits, earned income credits, retirement savers credit, etc., remember, you can always contribute, well, providing that your income's not too high, you could contribute to a traditional IRA to lower your income to maybe then qualify you for some of those credits. If you're getting health insurance through the marketplace, and if you earned more than you reported, you have to pay some of that back. Again, if you put into a traditional IRA, you can bring your income down and reduce that payback or penalty amount significantly. So make sure you know there are things you can do to manipulate the tax return even after the calendar year is done, because IRA and Roth contributions can be made all the way until April 15th of the next year for the prior calendar year. So again, make sure that you have a professional. The $200 or $300 you'll pay to them, you will likely save in different credits and deductions. So make sure you're being proactive with your tax planning.
Amen. Again, Megan, thank you so very much for the gems and the jewels. And team, I want to say, it's been quite a few months, almost a year now for me on Clubhouse. It's been great. A little dicey here and there sometimes, but we appreciate the time. We appreciate the support from the community. And again, happy holidays, Feliz Navidad, and all that to all who apply. And team, thanks and God bless. We'll be back here on Wednesday. All right, y'all. God bless everybody. Take care. Purchase your tracks today.